Hi there. My name's Tom Babor. I'd like to welcome you to the course entitled Research Careers and the Responsible Conduct of Research in Alcohol and Addiction Science. This course is going to cover a lot of territory, and you may wonder how one gets qualified to teach it. I've been in the field of addiction science ever since I got my doctoral degree in social psychology at the University of Arizona. And I did a postdoctoral research fellowship at Harvard Medical School. Subsequent to that, I went on to get an MPH in public health at the Harvard School of Public Health. And throughout that time, both in Boston at Harvard and McLean Hospital and at the University of Connecticut, I've been involved in addiction research as well as teaching and mentoring. So I can speak from experience about how the field has evolved over the past 40 years or so. And it's been quite a story. So this course will cover a lot about that evolution in terms of what it has done to the development of scientific knowledge about addiction and alcohol and drug use disorders, as well as the career opportunities in not only doing research, but applying research and using it in clinical practice, health services design, needs assessment, and a lot of other things. So, to get started, let's talk about some of the logistics of this course. It's designed to achieve several objectives. One of them is to teach you as students about the responsible conduct of addiction research. And as a subcategory of responsible conduct of research, we're going to talk a lot about research publication ethics or practices. So how you can go through the process of taking research knowledge and disseminating it through publication channels. Some of them may be informal, like reports. Others may be very formal, like a peer-reviewed scientific journal or a chapter in a book. We'll do this by providing answers to the questions that people often ask. What is scientific integrity and the responsible conduct of research? These are terms that are used to set the standards for people doing research in any area of science, but we're going to apply it directly to addiction science. We'll consider the various types of scientific misconduct and how to identify them, how to prevent them, and how to report them if necessary. And we'll deal with publication ethics to the extent that scientific misconduct also enters into the publication process through things like plagiarism, data fudging, and authorship conflicts. We'll spend time reviewing different publication options for collaborative authorship. And if you're in any way involved in addiction studies, it's likely that you need skills in terms of how to read the literature critically, but you also need skills if you're going to be publishing. And often you're going to be publishing or writing first by developing grant applications for funding opportunities or training opportunities. You're going to have to be writing and looking ahead to publishing articles often or reports for an agency that you work for or a research center. So we will cover how to write articles, how to prepare them, and how to be successful at publishing if that's a direction that you want to go in. Other objectives for this course include providing guidance on how to develop a sound research funding proposal and a sound training proposal. So we're going to give you some pointers on how to prepare applications, but before that, you need to look at the opportunities, and we will cover the opportunities for research and training by looking at private philanthropy organizations, government organizations, NGOs and agencies, and how research and training get supported. And with that knowledge, you should be able to prepare a much better and a much stronger funding application. The third thing we're going to do in this course is review career options and employment opportunities in addiction science in particular, but also the broader field of research and research support that exists in public health and many other professional disciplines. For addiction, there are really a large number of career trajectories that you could take, ranging from administration to program management that supports research or uses research or applies research, to working in a research center or even working for a federal or state agency that's collecting data. There are many opportunities that we're going to talk about in this course where knowledge of addiction can apply or help you get a job, and also that particular knowledge about research, that since it covers all areas of science ranging from neuroscience and genetics up to policy science, the skills that you're learning, particularly if you're taking the certificate in courses in addiction studies, it's going to be helpful no matter what area of research you go into. One way to learn about the field is to read the assigned chapters in Publishing Addiction Science. And this book was just published in 2017. It's in its third edition, and it covers all aspects of publication and also gets into ethics, research ethics in particular, and publishing issues like authorship and citation practices and writing review papers. And finally, it covers the career opportunities in the field as well. Another book that we're going to be using in this course, which is available at a relatively low price on Amazon, is a book on research ethics, which covers many of the issues that you're going to have to be familiar with if you want to consider a career in addiction science. Finally, we're going to be reviewing the chapters of a book that was the last book written by one of the giants in the addiction science field, Griffith Edwards, a British psychiatrist who devoted his life to clinical science and community psychiatry and policy science. And his distinguished career is reviewed in a set of reminiscences in a book that we'll be distributing to you through this course called Traveling Lightly. And it's a way of seeing the world as an addiction scientist, where you can gather in experiences and apply your general knowledge of science to improving the lot of people who have an alcohol or drug use disorder. So with that introduction, I'm going to close with a few words about the details of the course. It's going to be conducted in 15 thematic modules, each one devoted to a different topic. New modules will become available every Friday at noon. You should expect to spend 6 to 9 hours a week on a 3-credit course like this. The weekly discussions are important, so pay attention to them. Discussions are a crucial extension of the lectures and materials, giving you an opportunity to deepen your understanding of the topics. And each week we'll have different discussion topics for you to participate in. You're required to participate in these discussions by addressing the discussion prompts and by responding to the posts of your peers who will be taking the course along with you. Finally, we're going to have different ways of grading you for this course. They'll include quizzes, projects, and papers. Your academic performance will be evaluated through some self-assessments just to keep you paying attention to the readings. We'll have a midterm exam on ethical issues and several evaluations using case studies where you can apply your knowledge. And we're going to have you put yourself in the role of a peer reviewer of other people's applications for funding. So you can get a sense of how people will eventually be evaluating your funding applications. Finally, the best way to start the course is to read the syllabus and the orientation section on the course menu and do the quiz. So with that, welcome to the course. Let's get started.